Today is November 1st. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we're going to continue our journey through Chapter 8, Two Wives. We'll be reading page 108. Out of the 12 and 12 today, actually we were a day ahead, so we're going to skip that one today. But we are going to read the 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, hope you all are doing well this morning, my friends, and you're not having a candy hangover from Halloween last night. Being the responsible parent that I am, I have to make sure that the kids' candy's safe. So, had to test a few just to make sure. but I tried not to overindulge as best I could. But hey, just one thing at a time, right? So with that, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, my friends. So if you recall from yesterday's reading, we've been asking some pretty pointed questions about why these husbands drink, even knowing that the insanity ensues when they do. And that's a great question that is just a direct result of how insane the disease of alcoholism is, and cunning and baffling. And I would also add the word patient, the disease of alcoholism is. So we're going to continue that thought on page 108. These are some of the questions which race through the mind of every woman who's had an alcoholic husband. We hope this book has answered some of them. Perhaps your husband has been living in that strange world of alcoholism where everything is distorted and exaggerated. You can see that he really does love you with his better self. Of course, there is such thing as incompatibility. But in nearly every instance, the alcoholic only seems to be unloving and inconsiderate. It is usually because he is warped and sickened that he says and does these appalling things. Today, most of our men are better husbands and fathers than ever before. Try not to condemn your alcoholic husband, no matter what he says or does. He is just another very sick, unreasonable person. Treat him, when you can, as though he had pneumonia. When he angers you, remember that he is very ill. There is an important exception to the foregoing. We realize that some men are thoroughly bad-intentioned, that no amount of patience will make any difference. An alcoholic of this temperament may be quick to use this chapter as a club over your head. Don't let him get away with it. If you are positive he is one of this type, you may feel you better leave. Is it right to let him ruin your life and the lives of your children? Especially when he has before him a way to stop drinking, an abuse, if he really wants to pay the price. "24 hours today, November 1st. AA thought for the day. I have hope. That magic thing that I had lost or misplaced. The future looks dark no more. I do not even look at it, except when necessary to make plans. I try to let the future take care of itself. The future will be made up of todays and todays, stretching out as short as now and as long as eternity. Hope is justified by many right nows, by the rightness of the present. Nothing can happen to me that God does not will for me. I can hope for the best as long as I have what I have and it is good. Have I hope?" Meditation for the day. Faith is the messenger that bears your prayers to God. Prayer can be like incense, rising ever higher and higher. The prayer of faith is the prayer of trust that feels the presence of God, which it rises to meet. It can be sure of some response from God. We can say a prayer of thanks to God every day for His grace, which has kept us on the right way and allowed us to start living the good life. So we should pray to God with faith and trust and gratitude. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may feel sure of some response to my prayers. I pray that I may be content with whatever form that response takes. Daily Reflection, November 1st. I cannot change the wind. It is easy to let up on the spiritual program of action and rest on our laurels. We're headed for trouble if we do, for alcohol is a subtle foe. Alcoholics Anonymous, page 85. My first sponsor told me that there were two things to say about prayer and meditation. First, I had to start, and second, I had to continue. When I came to AA, my spiritual life was bankrupt. If I considered God at all, He was to be called upon only when my self-will was incapable of a task, or when overwhelming fears had eroded my ego. Today, I am grateful for a new life, one in which my prayers are those of thanksgiving. My prayer time is more for listening than for talking. I know today that I cannot change the wind. I can adjust my sail. I know the difference between superstition and spirituality. I know that there is a graceful way of being right and many ways to be wrong. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading, and I love that the Big Book does make the clarification for wives of alcoholics, and I would say spouses, of course, but that if you're in a dangerous situation, or you see that your spouse does not want to change, you've got to get out of that situation. For your sake and your safety, and your children's safety, of course. I'm glad that even back in the 30s, that this was included in the book. And that is just as true today, of course. Especially, when the book outlines a solution, a pretty clear-cut solution to help. But if they're not willing, and willingness is a huge key to sobriety, if the spouse is not willing to change, there's nothing you can do. And then I love the daily reflection as well. When I came to AA, my spiritual life was bankrupt. But I love the next paragraph. Today, I'm grateful for a new life, one in which my prayers are those of thanksgiving. I've heard it many, many times. A grateful heart will not drink. So if I wake up and I focus on the things that I have, rather than what I'm missing, it changes my whole attitude and outlook on the day. And sometimes, I'm not feeling it. My brain knows what to do, but my body hasn't believed it yet. So I'm going, okay, I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for that, I'm thankful for this, thankful for that. But then eventually, when I go through that gratitude list, there is a shift where I actually believe what I'm saying. And then I go, wow, God, please forgive me for ever being kind of ungrateful or just in a poor mood. I mean, I'm alive today. My children are alive today. My beautiful wife is alive today. I have a roof over my head. I've got a climate-controlled house, climate-controlled car. I've got a decent job. I can provide for my family. Like these base needs right here. I've got so much. I'm abundantly rich. I have all my faculties. My heart's beating fine. My lungs, I could keep going and going and going. Because there are some folks that don't have these things. They probably wish they had these faculties. And who am I to throw this pity party? There's so much to be thankful for. And at the bare minimum, if we're sober today, man, we could be thankful so much just for that. So with that, my friends, if you are sober today, you're a miracle. I hope you realize that. And if you're not sober today, but somehow you're listening to this, you're a miracle as well. Because you have a brand new set of 24 hours to make that first step towards change in a positive direction. Whatever that might look like for you. And you don't have to do it alone. Get the support you need. So with that, my friends, if we are given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.